stop borrowing from China to buy oil from Saudi Arabia if we got serious about energy policy in this country. Now, John McCain says he's serious. John McCain the other day said, you know, the problem with our energy policy is that politicians in Washington have been talking about it 30 years and haven't done anything about it. Well, he's right. Here's the only problem. He's been there for 26 of them. And he hasn't done anything about it. And so we're going to change it. We are going to work with the auto companies to provide them the guarantees, the loans, the resources to retool so that the high-efficiency cars of the future are built not in Japan, not in South Korea, but right here in Michigan, right here in the U.S. of A. John McCain came in here and said, well, he wasn't sure we could do that. I know we can do it. This is America. If we put our mind to something, we can do it. If we want to create electric cars right here in the United States, and hybrid cars, and hydrogen cars, if we want to create new technologies, this is the place to do it. But we've got to have a government who has the same vision as John F. Kennedy did when he looked up at the moon and said, we're going there. I don't know yet how we're going to get there, but in 10 years, we are going to land a man on the moon. And you know what? We did it, because that's how we do in America. So we're going to invest in rebuilding our auto industry. We are going to invest in solar and wind and biodiesel. And we are going to create millions of green jobs all across America. Good paying jobs that can't be outsourced. And we are going to change our foreign policy. Because I am tired of listening to folks who talk tough and act dumb. If John McCain wants to have a debate about foreign policy, I'm happy to have that debate. I am gonna bring an end to this war in Iraq. Joe Biden and I am going to work on a plan to make sure that we are as careful getting out as we were careless getting in. But we are going to get out. And we are going to focus our attention on bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, where they are living in Afghanistan and along the hills of Pakistan. And we are going to restore diplomatic tools in the toolbox, so that we can start working with our allies to curb Russian aggression, to reduce nuclear proliferation, to make sure Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon, to deal not just with terrorism, but with genocide and poverty and climate change, so that we can once again be a beacon to the world. That's who America is. That's part of America's promise, and I will restore it when I'm President of the United States of America. Michigan, we've got so much work to do. We've got so much work to do, but you know what? These next 60 days, we've got to understand what's at stake. I mean, the choices are absolutely clear here. John McCain has voted with George Bush 90% of the time. Now, what kind of judgment is that where you think George Bush is right 90% of the time?
Pretty damn silly one.
So if you think we're doing okay, if you think your life is better now than it was 4 years ago or 8 years ago, then John McCain's your guy. But if you agree with Joe Biden, if you agree with me that we can do so much better, that we can unify the country once again, that we can make sure that if you're looking for a job, you can find a job that pays a living wage, that we can create an America where you're never going bankrupt just because you get sick, where we can create a system where every child's getting a good education and can go as far as their dreams will take them. that we can create a system that protects Social Security and doesn't gamble on your retirement and make sure that you can retire with dignity and respect. If you believe in investing in science and technology and creating the jobs of the future, if you believe in working on behalf of small businesses, people who want to take a risk and start with that great new idea that's going to create new jobs, if you believe, in other words, in the American promise, that if you try, you can make it. If you want to continue that for the next generation, then these next 60 days, we've got to work harder than we've ever worked. We've got to put away the cynicism and the fear, because that's what the other side is going to try to feed you. You know, they don't have any good ideas. That's why they spend all their time talking about me. And I understand that I haven't been in Washington as long as some, but I've been in Washington long enough to know that Washington needs to change. This is our moment. This is our time. Our time to shed the fear and the doubt, and for us to roll up our sleeves and block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city, state by state, to start remaking America once again. I can't do it by myself, though. I can't even do it with Joe Biden. I've got to have you. You've got to believe. You've got to care. You've got to work. You've got to knock on doors. You've got to make some phone calls. You've got to talk to your friends. You've got to talk to your neighbors. You've got to realize the power in your hands. And if you work with me, then I promise you we won't just win Michigan. We're going to win this general election. And I'm going to take Joe Biden to the White House. And you and I together, we are going to change this country, and we're going to change the world. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless America.